Oh hey, I didn't see you there. That's a lie. We're shooting a video. We're taking this PC here, which is not a shit box, and we're putting it in a nicer, well, this is a server case, alright. It doesn't look as nice, but this case was ugly anyway. We're also upgrading this server with a 1080 Ti and giving it some better cooling, because while AMD's stock cooler is nice, it's not a Noctua. So we're going to do basically a case transfer, and then we're going to put this bad boy inside as well. So come join me. So this is reason number one why we're having a case transfer. First of all, this is like a gaming chassis from like 2010. I don't need perforated sides, so it's not looking good. And because I learned about things the hard way every time, and I do mean every time, I put a graphics card in here temporarily. Obviously, I had upgrade plans for a long time, but this card specifically is not good for Plex. This is the only GT10 card that does not have an encoder. So this, even though I thought I was doing something, I was not. I didn't buy this for the project. I've had this since 2016, and now I heard they're a handful to get your hands on them for. So that we're going to be taking out of here and replacing it with my tried and true GTX 1080 Ti. It's a damn shame that this Strix model is going to go into a server chassis, but encoding. Alright, we'll be encoding. So we're going to gut this case out. This power supply we'll leave in there because we are swapping that. I will show you guys that in a bit. And yeah, we're just going to start gutting stuff. We're going to get the SSD out of here, this hard drive out of here, and this motherboard out of here, as I have other plans for this motherboard to go into this case. So I'm going to disassemble this a little bit, and then we'll come right back. So now we've completely cleared this case out. Thank God. Oh, f*** is that?
Helicopter, helicopter. Paracofer, paracofer.
So, one of the reasons why we had to pull it out of the case anyway is because we're using the stock cooler, which is fine for now, but once more people start hitting this server at a time, it's going to be putting the CPU at like 100% all the time. And it's a 3700X. Oh my God, with terrible...
Oh my God!
That was a really bad application. If you want to look here.
Oh my God! Oh, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh.
These corners clean, like what the, oh man, I always wondered to myself too, why I kill my hardware all the time. This is why. Jesus Christ. But that shouldn't be a problem now, because, where is it? Arctic Silver 5 goes, which is supposed to be like some long-lasting shit. I would use the Noctua paste that's included, but no. Alright, you don't want to... I need something that's going to be able to stick around for quite a long time, and I know that once I mount this cooler, it's going to be a long time before I take it off again. This is supposed to be the final hardware update, with the exception of future hard drives along the line, and that is nowhere near really as tedious. Alright, so now we are just mounting the Noctua cooler, which is pretty straightforward compared to almost everything else. It uses the stock AMD backplate, so thank God for that. Which means I don't have to go back in there and crazy nonsense. So we got to use the outermost part of the bracket. I'll have this done in a jiffy. We'll show that big cooler mounting, and we'll be like, oh wow, wow, so sexy. We got the bracket mounted. Noctua coolers are pretty easy. We're gonna be putting on some Arctic Silver 5. Okay, I used to be an Icy Diamond fanboy, but then realized that shit's not the move. So we're going Arctic Silver 5 again. If you buy a Noctua cooler, it comes with their NH1. You don't really need it, but you're gonna want to get a close look at this baby because there's a controversy behind how you do this thing. Can you see this clearly? It's this square thing right here. So I'm gonna go with a small 2-line format. You know, one here, maybe a little dot there, because all of you, if you come at me for how I put my thermal paste on, I gotta be extra careful because you guys just saw that of a job. Alright, so then it's very simple. You just make sure you got your cooler on properly. Bada bing, bada boom. I hit it first try. And then it's all about just making sure you tighten a little bit on this side. You tighten a little bit on this side. And then you go back and you tighten a little bit on this side. And then you go back and you tighten a little bit on this side. And you fucking repeat the process until it stops. Because if you over tighten it, well, you know, But you want to make sure you don't tighten one side all the way down first, because this helps the thermal paste spread easily. And like I know what that fucking means compared to my last thermal paste job. And there you go. Now your cooler is properly mounted. So this I keep dropping screws. Alright, so this case is built and server built perfect.
You want me to start over?
No. So this case is kind of not really, but it looks like a case from like 2006, but it's server grade. So you know you have all these drive bays, so you can put hot swap bays in. You got plenty of storage for what it is. Mostly people would be using hot swap bays in the front. I am going to have a couple hard drives here and a CD drive and maybe some hot swap bays. It even comes with chassis intrusion, which is if you like open a case and you're not supposed to, this will set an alarm off. We don't really need this, so we're going to take that out in a bit. And there's no standoffs installed. So we are going to install some standoffs and we'll be right back. Alright, so we got all the standoffs in. It took me a hot second, but we're going to go ahead and get the motherboard all lined up in here and just screw down. For the keen-eyed among you who may notice, I keep saying server, I keep saying server grade, and this motherboard is definitely a gaming board. It's gonna be this is an X470 board, so we're talking AM4, which is good. I have a 3700X in there, and if shit really does get crazy, I can upgrade that all the way up to like a 5950X. If things get crazy. I'm throwing in a GTX 1080 Ti in here, so we'll see how that handles raw power alone, because I have it set for hardware encoding. And you never want to really waste money, because you get you know, you get a high-powered CPU and then you stick a high-powered GPU in there, and now you've just you've wasted that effort having a 5950X in there, because your GPU's doing all the heavy lifting. And we don't want it to be too power hungry.
It's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hour.
$1 billion.
Okay, well it feels like that, but it's getting up there in price. So we want to make sure that you know, we're being a little efficient. I'm gonna probably undervolt the 1080 Ti and. Alright, so now that we've got the nitty-gritty installed, it was a very close cut. So far it's looking good. Despite the fact this is a gaming motherboard, X470 is just a chipset, and I'm totally fine running it all the time. A 37X is not a server-grade chip, but you know, again, totally fine running it all the time. It's really no big deal. And it's gonna be great. We have the Noctua cooler is gonna keep this thing nice and cool. There's not a lot of airflow in the front. I did get a high-powered fan, so that we are able to fully take in as much air as we can, because it's going to get hot with that 1080 Ti in here.
It's gonna be me.
My mom.
You know what 3 + 3 is?
My mom! Get out! It was worth it!
Alright, so front panel connections are in. Like I said, normally you try your best to make something like this look as sexy as possible. However, this is going to be in a case where you can't even see through. So it doesn't really matter. It still would like to have nice cable management, so I'm really trying here. I may swap out this fan back here. I have no idea how good it is, but it looks like it's meant more for static pressure in a case like this. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
But actually, you know what? Let me be smart and plug this in first and then try to cable manage it like Christ. Alright, we get that in there and we kind of just...
That's the Michael show.
That'll do. Again, it's not supposed to be hot. It's not supposed to be, you know, sexy, whatever. It'll do just fine. So we're going kind of overkill. We had a perfectly fine power supply in the last one. It was a CX750M. I'm throwing this 1000 watt G2 in there just for future upgradability and the fact that it's gold rated. And again, Daddy need to save that money.
Daddy waiting for it. Bring that money on.
You know what I'm saying? Where did I put the power supply screws? Come here, you little son of a...
Oh, son of a...
We're gonna screw this guy in before it falls on me, so we're gonna get him all the way up in here. This is an older style of case. If anyone here is new to the PC building scene or stumbled upon my channel by accident, this is an older style, server style. It's got the power supply up top instead of on the bottom here, which in this case helps because all the air will go up in here and help as an exhaust. But yeah, this way was for sure never the most attractive way. Hey, so off camera, I had to install the 1080 Ti a little early. I know it's disappointing. There's no clearance. There is no clearance. The space between the back plate and this hard drive cage is like, So I had to do that off camera because it was just going to be too frustrating. Probably said the F word too many times, but you know, that's how it be. We will return once we get this thing oriented to the front, and I'll show you what we're going to do from there. So originally for this build, about a year ago, Woody came to me and he was like, we should have a Plex server. So I thought if it was just between him and me, 6 terabytes would be fine. And then he asked if we could make it public for everyone, and I was like, alright, and then 6 terabytes was not fine. So, besides the 1080 Ti, the highlight of this build is going to be a Seagate Exos 18 terabyte drive, so I can fucking sleep easy for a while, because my God, it's a nightmare worrying about what you're going to do for space when someone asks you to put the entire collection of Family Guy on the server. So these are pretty easy hard drive sleds. We're going to get that 6 terabyte back in there. I have other uses for that bad boy. If push comes to shove and TV shows become more popular, which I have suspicion to believe they will, I will split it. So I'm going to have that 6 terabyte still hold movies, and this, we're going to trial run it and see if it's going to be okay for TV shows. I got to be very careful because this drive is over $300, and my God. I'm going to get this thing gently into the drive sled. We're going toolless for this operation because I don't usually kick my fucking servers, so we'll be alright. This is a thick boy drive. Get in there! Oh my God. Alright, get in there! our 256 gig Samsung boot SSD. This is really all we need for Plex. I may get 2 of these, put them in RAID 1 so that if one of them fails, you know we're all set. We're just gonna get this screwed in here off camera because this looks like this might be a, wait, no, we're good. Yeah, we're gonna get this screwed in here and we'll return once I got all the drive sleds. We'll return once I have all the drive sleds in. So next we're gonna get a little industrial in here, the industrial PPC fan, the IPPC for short. Emphasis on the PP. As for pulling power, in my opinion, all right. The reason why we're going so heavy duty, this is a 3,000 RPM fan. Do not get it twisted. This is not your average NH A12. This is waterproof, dust resistant, and runs at a 3,000 RPM, which means this sucker, excuse me, hello, this sucker's gonna get loud if we don't properly monitor the speeds. So we're gonna go ahead and install it right in the front. And like I said, the reason why we need such a high-powered fan is because this is the only point of intake for the entire chassis. So this fan needs to pull some amp. So this might not be completely relevant for people anymore. However, if I plan on adding things to the Plex server, it'll be really nice to have a Blu-ray drive when I do it. So we are going to get a Pioneer. That's right, nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. You see that Pioneer logo there? I wanted to get one that says it up here, but that was more money. And you know what that means, more money for stupid vanity. So I want you all to know it's a Pioneer drive, all right? Look at that. Zoom in on that, baby. Get that. Yeah, what does that say right there?
Holy shit.
Yeah. What does it say, baby?
I'm reading a lot of Chinese right now.
I'm talking about the logo up top.
Oh yeah, that's Pioneer.
Get that shit tattooed on me one of these days.
Okay.
Insertion. Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Me. Me. All right. Let's make sure the front of the case. My God. Let's make sure the front of the case fits. I'm gonna go ahead and pop out one of these bad boys. Yes. We got. Like I said, this is the only intake, so it's important that we put that high-powered fan up here. Again, we have a Blu-ray drive for getting more things in the Plex server with legitimate media, which is good for future investments. Things getting pretty heavy, and now all we got to do is link up the SATA ports, and we should be good to try to have a little bit of fun here and try to get this, working. All right, we'll come back to you in a bit. So now that we got everything ready to go. We skipped a little bit there because I was having some complications, but we're going to try to do a first boot here. You never close the case unless you make sure it boots all the way. It's bad luck. Gets really loud for a hot second. Nice. We're getting some beeps. And it shut off. Hell yeah. Okay, I was getting nervous there for a minute because there's the beep we want. There's the post, thank God. What's the problem here?
What's the problem?
Assisted posted in safe mode. Sometimes when you put new hardware, such as like a 1080 Ti in there or a couple new hard drives, it'll give you a hard time on first boot, but I'm so fucking used to it by now because I've had so many boot problems. I'm like a Windows install manager at this point. Like, I think my first PC died on me and I spent weeks troubleshooting just to find out it was a dead stick of RAM. This particular set of hardware gave me a hard time before and I thought, look, there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so if you can see here, we got that fresh 18 terabyte drive formatted. Looks like we got 16.3 terabytes of space, which is way better than just 6. And like I said, I'm going to plan on sharing some of the original Plex. I'm going to maybe keep this for movies and use this as shows, so one, we have more space. And I plan on adding more drives later on so that we can have redundant RAID, so that if one drive fails, I don't lose my entire operation. But yeah, we'll get this thing put in and we'll see what it's like.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!